If you keep living like you are right now, there is a 99% chance you will wake up in 3 years in the same place or even worse. Same job, same bank balance, same thoughts you don't say out loud. But here's the twist, it only takes one shift that can change all of it. And it doesn't require you to have money or talent. If you're ready, this video is not only going to inspire you, it will rewire you. The legacy mode. Let's be honest, most people you pass on the street, they already given up, just not out loud. You hear it in how they talk about their Mondays, you see it in their eyes, you feel it in their routines. They have given up in life. They're not living, they're just managing. But you're still here watching, which means there is something in you that refuses to be average. Let's feed that. This might sound a little surface level at first, but don't let that fool you. We're going deeper right after this. Make sure you stick around for the most transformative parts. Trust me, this all ties together. Level 1. Break the loop. Let's get straight to it. Every single day, your brain opens a window. In the first 5 seconds, you either run your day or your day decides to run you. Most people, they tap snooze, open Instagram, slide straight into autopilot. And from there, their day is already decided for them. But you interrupt that. Not with big goals, but with micro moves that rewire identity. These tiny acts of agency don't feel powerful in the moment, but they reprogram the system from the inside out. Get up when your brain says wait. Drink water before caffeine. Write one sentence before you scroll. This is about momentum manufactured on command. Level 2. Make one move that sucks. You don't have to do anything painful or terrifying. You just have to do something that's uncomfortable. Every single day, find something that makes you feel uncomfortable and do exactly that. Send that message, ask for that raise, walk into the room you'd rather avoid. You're not doing it to be productive, you're doing it to prove that you can. If you want a bigger life, expand your tolerance for discomfort. Just do it before your mind negotiates you back into smallness. Level 3. Controlled pain equals controlled growth. This is the separation point. If you want to be elite, you need to seek pain that's useful before life hands you pain that's pointless. Lift heavier, work longer than your ego wants, fail publicly, say no and deal with the silence. Not because it's fun, because it's fuel. You grow when it hurts and you keep going anyway. People love to say I want to be different. Cool. But can you suffer intentionally for 30 minutes a day without crying about it? That's the real flex. That's what rewires you. That's what gets you ahead of 99% of people still chasing dopamine. Are you ready for the next move? Because now that you're building momentum, we are going to burn the map. The map that's filled with copy-paste dreams and low-resolution living. Anti-vision clarity. This next part shifted everything for me. And I gotta give credit. This is inspired by someone who has been a massive influence in how I create, Dan Cole. Dan doesn't just talk about success, he talks about creating with purpose, living intentionally, building systems that align with who you actually are, not who the world told you to be. And one of the most powerful ideas? Anti-vision. We're always told to visualize what we want, but it's way more honest to admit what we never really want to become. Because when you get brutally clear on what you're avoiding, action becomes non-negotiable. That's what Alex Hormozi reinforces too. Clarity through subtraction. Define what to eliminate and suddenly the right path shows itself. Now listen, I'm not perfect. I'm not talking to you from a mountaintop. I battle with the same distractions. I too fall off track sometimes. That's why I'm documenting all this. I'm drawing this path while I walk it. I'm right here with you, building as I go. So here's what to do. Grab a notebook, write out the worst version of your life if nothing changes. Where you live, how you feel, what you tolerate, what stays the same. Write it all down. Let it sting, not to shame yourself, but to create contrast. Because contrast creates direction. And once you write it all out, something clicks. Suddenly your dream life stops feeling like a fantasy and starts to feel like a simple reversal of what you refuse to become. Leverage your edge. Let's flip the lens now. Most people try to build something using someone else's blueprint. They copy the habits of the millionaires or the routines of the creators they admire. But here's the truth. You already have unfair advantages. You're just not using them. It's called the Miles framework. Money, intelligence, location, education, and status. Maybe your weakness is actually leverage in disguise. Let me show you. If you're broke, you've got that hunger. You will move faster. You can take more risks. And you can appreciate every single win. If you're introverted, you've got focus. You can think clearly, create deeply, and outlast the noise. You're not Ivy League. Neither were most founders. Maybe you're self-educated, and that makes you more dangerous. If you live in the US, UK, Canada, or Australia, you have already won half the battle. Access to stable systems, global markets, and endless tools. That's not something to overlook. That's a massive edge. You're not stuck. You're sitting on code you haven't deployed yet. And here's the wild part. The thing you envy most in others, that's usually the thing your soul is asking you to build. Jealousy isn't weakness. It's a life prompt. An install notification. Make sure you pay attention. Stop copying other people's builds. Optimize your own stack. That's your edge. That's your OS kernel. The game was never fair. That's your advantage, not your excuse. Disappear and reboot. Let's talk about what high performers really do. They don't just add habits, they subtract the noise. Every major software update, it starts with a restart. Same goes for you. You want to upgrade your mindset? Start by rebooting your inputs. Because while everyone else is cramming more into their schedule, the ones who grow, they cut. On purpose. Toxic group chats gone. Cluttered apps archived. Background tabs of your old identity closed. You don't need 40 new self-improvement strategies. You only need 4 hours of uninterrupted focus and a system that protects it as if your life depends on it. Because it does. Think of your life like an operating system. Some processes run silently in the background, eating RAM, draining battery, slowing you down. Old beliefs, outdated friendships, unconscious dopamine loops. Now it's time to kill the processes, to free up memory and to reboot. Because here's what happens when you disappear with intention. You stop reacting and you start rebuilding. People might say that you have changed, that you're not as fun anymore, that you're isolating yourself. And they're right. You're going through an upgrade. But this isn't loneliness, it's an optimization mode. You're not escaping the world. You're preparing yourself to own the world. From legacy to legendary. Let's land this. By now you know the truth. Most people won't change, not because they can't, but because they won't stop running outdated code. They stay in legacy mode. Copy-paste habits, hand-me-down beliefs, default settings disguised as identity, but not you. You've faced the hard questions, defined your anti-vision, located your edge, and you started cutting the noise. That's not a glow-up, that's a full rebuild. And the 1%, they don't run default code. They write their own code from scratch with intention, through pain, and with clarity. And you've just learned the system they use to build. 2025 isn't waiting. The people winning the game aren't lucky. They're just not distracted. Here's your binary choice. Update or crash. The choice you make now can shift your reality. If this resonated with you, please take your shoes off and come on in by hitting that subscribe button. Make sure to like the video as it really helps to reach more people who needs to watch this stuff. This channel is for the one building real lives, not chasing fake goals. Drop a simple I'm in the comments below if you're uninstalling the legacy mode this week. Let's build something real together. Ciao for now. I'll see you in the next one.